Ninja Warrior.
Escape from history. Yes! All the way to the top. Go get yourself.
The rock climber has just climbed the chimney.
210, one of the heavier guys we've seen out here.
This is Ninja Warrior. It brings together some of the best athletes in the world, from Olympians, pro athletes, rock climbers, and more, that take on an absolutely brutal physical course. It also brings out some really strange people that also take on the course. This show has been running for over 21 years, started in Japan, and the course just keeps getting harder and harder. I've always dreamed of becoming a Ninja Warrior one day. I've just discovered there's a place in Melbourne that replicates a lot of these obstacles. So my challenge this month is to pick 4 obstacles and see if I can master them. It's going to be particularly hard for me because I just had surgery on my arm and spent 3 weeks in a cast. Having not been able to do any exercise for a while, I really wanted to find a motivating goal to kick myself back into gear. So can I do it? Can I become a Ninja Warrior in just 30 days? First challenge was to do a salmon ladder. What I want to do is go 5 rungs up, 5 rungs down, and then 5 rungs up by the end of the month. I was pretty shaky getting started. It was scary. You have to get the technique where you go high enough that you get over the rungs, so you have to have quite a lot of pulling power, and it's definitely going to be a tricky one for the month. So the next challenge I wanted to do was a pegboard, and I wanted to go all the way from the left to all the way to the right of the pegboard. And my grip strength was just dying on my left hand. I just didn't have the strength to hold myself. I was finding it hard to hold my muscles up and keep in that bicep locked off position. And I don't even know if I went 1 rung the whole session, so I had a lot of work to do on that one. The next challenge was to get up the warp wall. And I want to get up the big warp wall on the left of the screen. I was practicing this little warp wall and it looks tiny, but it was actually really scary for me. Mentally, I just couldn't wrap my head around it. You have to run, jump, commit, and I just was really scared of injuring myself. So this challenge is the Cannonball swing. And what I wanted to do was swing all the way from one side to the end using just these cannonballs. And why this is really difficult is it really puts a lot of taxing strength on your grip strength. You're swinging and you're on a ball that's this little slippery ball. You're gonna really have to work on your technique to figure out how you can leverage your weight while you're swinging. So you can see this was my best attempt where I got a couple of rungs, but as soon as I had to use my left hand, I was really screwed and didn't have the technique, and I was getting caught up in this little limbo position of not knowing how to keep progressing. So one of the things that's going to be really important in this challenge is my grip strength, my pull-ups, and my ab strength or my core strength. So all of those are really important muscles that I need to develop to be able to do those crazy obstacles. I thought it'd be cool to find out what's my total amount of time that I can hang on a bar for, or dead hang. How long can I hold a plank for, and how many pull-ups can I do? And hopefully we can see some progression in those numbers as well alongside these challenges. I'm going to start with a hang. So my hang time, I actually gave myself 10 seconds to get ready, so it's actually 1:30. 4:40. So I got my baseline numbers: 1:30 dead hang, 4:30 plank, and 14 pull-ups. It hopefully gives you a gauge what kind of strength and fitness do you need to actually complete some of these obstacles. So how can I train for these obstacles when I'm not actually at the obstacle gym? And it is quite far away, so I can't be there all the time. Well, this really. My little chin-up bar. I've got my cannonball grip, this grip. I want to practice one arm on the cannonball, one arm on the bar, and really try to get my left arm working on that cannonball to improve that grip strength there. Back to the compound. I was feeling a lot stronger, and I was also more conscious of improving my technique. Cannonballs is going to be one of the easier challenges, and that was one that I just wanted to work on and get out of the way, but I was still finding it really difficult. This is Clem, and he owns the gym. He was giving me some really good technique, because he was saying you want to kind of wrap your arm around in a certain way where it puts less pressure as you swing through. I started to make some improvements, but I was still really finding it hard to hold my weight on one arm whenever I would at that swinging point, and I kept dropping off. But I finally got up the small warp wall, and really it was just like mentally getting over it. It wasn't that difficult to get up that little one, but it was really mentally difficult. It was really scary. By going for it, you're just scared that you're gonna slip backwards. By the end, it started to become pretty easy to get up that small wall. And now I was trying to size up the big wall, and I still was absolutely freaking out about it. Then going to the Salmon Ladder, I'd kind of figured out the technique finally to get up a few rungs. You can see here I fell. I got a little bit too eager. You need to make sure you go a few inches above the rung so that you can actually lock into place. But it's very taxing on your back, very taxing on your forearms. And so I definitely needed to work on my endurance to improve that. So this is Lachlan Walker, and he's got his own YouTube channel where he does amazing fitness challenges, and he's an amazing gymnast. And he's competed on Ninja Warrior here in Australia in season 1, and he got to be a course tester for season 2.
The hardest part of it all might be the anticipation. You spend the whole day having interviews, having photo shoots. Really late at night is when you do your run, and sort of sitting in the green room with all the other ninjas, getting really psyched up, but you're also just waiting for a long time. It's difficult because you don't know when you're going to be going. You don't get much of a heads up. It's tricky to be warmed up properly and also be like mentally in the zone.
How do you mentally and physically prepare approaching some of those crazy obstacles?
For me, I'm a gymnast, so gymnastics gives you a good foundation of strength, flexibility, and aerial awareness. You're already pretty set if you do gymnastics. On top of that, I've been doing rock climbing and bouldering, just for the grip strength, because some of the obstacles, particularly in the further stages of the course, it's a lot of grip strength, so you need to have like strong forearms and good endurance. And you don't quite get that from gymnastics because you're always gripping either a ring or a bar. Those two sports, I think, all you need to be ready for Ninja. Mentally, you need to know how to commit to something. Often a lot of the obstacles are scary, especially when you're up there on the big stage and you're looking at it. You just got to go for it, and when you do go for it, you have to fully commit and expect you're going to make it, because if you hesitate, it's going to make you fall, basically. So that's another really good skill that you learn from the training, how to commit to something, even if you're maybe not 100% feeling I'm going to smash this, to make yourself think that and to make yourself go for it.
So just a quick update on my physical markers before my final day. So my plank went up to 5 minutes 40, which was an over 1 minute improvement for the month. And my dead hang got up to 1 minute 55, which was over 20 seconds improvement on my hang. And my pull-ups got up to 20, which I was really excited about. And that was an improvement of 6 pull-ups. So I was feeling ready for that final day. So I'm on my way to my final night at the compound. I got to do my 4 challenges tonight. I got to do the Cannonballs, got to do the up and down on the Salmon Ladder, got to do the pegboard, and I got to do the warp wall. The idea of going for the warp wall makes me very uncomfortable. I'd say in order of confidence, 80% confident on Cannonball, 70 to 60% confident in pegboard, 40% confident in Salmon Ladder, and like 10% confident in the warp wall. The warp wall just freaks me out. It's just very big. I'm going to take my advice that I got from Lachlan. You got to commit, and you got to get your head in the right state. So trying to visualize the success, and hopefully tonight's the night. My grip strength training really paid off. I felt really solid on this obstacle, and my technique was way better. I knew how to swing my hips so that I could always get out the right hand that I was trying to get out, so that my left and then on my right. And I even got to this tiny little cannonball, and that was a challenge completed. So really happy with how I smashed that out to start off the challenges. I just wanted to nail it for the night, so I went with a slower and more steady pegboard pace. There was a few slips, and I had my whole weight swinging on just one arm, slowly making these little transitions and trying to do my best job to keep a little bit of momentum. I'm trying to keep my accuracy on putting those pegs in as good as possible, so that way I save my forearm endurance. 1 minute 30 later, I got across the entire pegboard. I was really stoked with the success of getting that one. It's awesome to do that pegboard, because at the start I literally couldn't get across one. Like the furthest I got in my first 2 sessions was like 1 peg and then fell. So to progress that much, I still feel like my technique is terrible. I couldn't find any other technique that worked for me. I've come a long way to be able to fail to get through that whole thing. So gotta do the Salmon Ladder and gotta do the wall. Let's finish off strong. Remember, I'm going up 5 rungs, down 5 rungs, and then up 5 rungs again. Going up the 5 rungs actually started to become pretty comfortable. Going down was still really scary for me. One thing that's really important is getting your technique right so that you can leverage your back muscles and your forearm muscles so that you don't burn out. And you can see there, I got a bit burnt out with my back. This attempt, I was using a lot more bicep, got up a lot faster, made a little mistake. And then when you make these mistakes, you burn out a little bit because you have to use a lot of abs and a lot of forearm to try to correct. But I got all the way down. I got my 10 rungs. So I took a breath, a hang. But you can see at this point, I just don't have that pulling strength and my forearms are giving out. And when I go for the pull, I miss it and fall. This is my 3rd big attempt. I really only have like 3, maybe 4 big attempts in me before like I 100% burn out. It's using everything. It uses forearm, it uses back. It's technique, it's mental, it's scary. I kind of knew setting these challenges that this one physically would probably be the toughest. This is attempt number 3. 5 up, 5 down, 5 up. 15 total. Give me one more, give me one more. So I go up and down, the smoothest I probably ever have. But here, as I'm going up, my forearms give out. I was burnt from the pegboard, I was burnt from all of the Salmon Ladder, and that was just my max effort for the night. Finally, the warp wall. I was freaking out about this. I just didn't want to have to do it. It's just scary. If I jump and miss, I'm gonna just fall backwards. My strategy was to keep trying to touch something higher and higher up on the wall so that I build more and more confidence. Alright. This is the one. You can do it. This is the one. And I do it. I get my right arm up. It's got a really nice grip up the top. I climb over a bit sheepishly because I am a little bit scared of heights, but I finally got up to that top of that wall and that felt amazing. It felt really cool, and I was really proud of myself for overcoming that fear. So I've been watching Ninja Warrior for over 10 years, just dreaming about the day that I could do some of those challenges. But so much stopped me from taking action. I was busy, I wasn't ready, I still had more work to do on myself. Last month I was stuck in bed in a cast and I was desperate to exercise again. To go from there to climbing a warp wall and overcoming some of those physical challenges that I've wanted to do for years was an awesome feeling. For so many of us, we're delaying our goals and saying the timing isn't right. Sometimes that perfect time never comes, so unless we take action, those goals might slip right by us. With the new year around the corner, I hope that many of you guys are going to be taking action and jumping into what truly excites you. Next month, my challenge is going to be working like Gary Vee, the entrepreneur, for 30 days. I haven't really spoken about it much on my channel, but in my 20s, I built up a digital agency called Megaphone Marketing, and I want to take you guys inside that and show you how I've done that. As always, thank you so much for watching, and happy learning.